Hey everyone, welcome back to Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're magically unstable.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's do that one more time.
Or we can just keep that whole thing.
Oh my God, that made me lightheaded. Oh my God.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're
magically unstable.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Magically Unstable. This is number 2. Nicole, I thought you weren't going to scream in the microphone anymore.
You're right. I absolutely...
You gotta lean back and scream.
I leaned into it. I wish you guys could see
for all of you, last week...
I sent you the picture of my recording. Oh, yeah.
We recorded the podcast about, I don't fucking know, the Animal Kingdom park plan. And Nicole, she adds a lot of depth to this show by yelling a lot into the microphone. But
randomly,
it was so
though.
loud. I know, but it was so loud that my noise corrector was cutting off the top and bottom frequencies, and she was sounding like a robot. So she's not allowed to scream directly into the microphone. She has to sit back.
Okay, my issue is when I first started recording on this, the mic, right? Because I used to do my fucking headphones. I would lean back from it and it would be like the quietest fucking thing ever. So now I'm inclined to just lean in, and then whenever I get excited, I just really just whap.
You just blast us.
I whap the mic.
Yeah, well.
And I'm just...
Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
You get sound blasted. See, I just did it again.
Maybe when I'm in Wisconsin, we can record something and I'll just duct tape you to a chair at a specific distance from the microphone so that it just
I'll
muscle
still
trains.
rock the chair forward.
She will.
Just collapse my whole setup, rocking the chair forward. All right, we're off to such a great start.
Nice.
Okay, sorry. Welcome to another great episode of Magically Unstable. It is our second cast member therapy session this week.
Oh, fucking
all right,
yeah.
we're so excited.
And you
this
know what?
is so
I'm
great.
honestly just happy that 2 people reached out to us to do this.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for listening and participating.
If you're a cast member, you have to reach out to us so we can get your therapy session up. I believe we still have the Google form in our Instagram bio.
We do.
And hopefully by now we have our new Instagram, Magically Unstable Podcast Instagram, with the form in our bio. If you are a cast member and you would like to be featured on this podcast, go ahead and find that nice little Google form. It's either on Foreverland Fairytales Instagram or the Magically Unstable Podcast Instagram. And we'd love to have you on. We love doing this kind of stuff. So if you want to have a therapy session, once again, find us.
Or you can email us, magicallyanstablepod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Either way, and we can send you the form from there. But let's get rolling because this is going to be a really exciting episode.
Yes.
So first, let's start with our weekly touch base. Nick, how's your week?
It hasn't happened yet, you guys. So oddly enough, this episode is being pre-recorded because we're all going to be together in 2 weeks. So we are having to pre-record this. So this week hasn't happened yet. So I feel like I'm going to manifest a wonderful week for myself next week or whatever the fuck this week is going to happen. And hope for a safe journey for Kurt and Nicole to get here, because this podcast will be airing, I believe, when they are pretty close on their way to come here.
The day before.
The day before we
get there.
We've made it. We've done enough trips to Orlando / Disneyland that are work trips, and for the past year and a half, and we just decided to not work this trip. So we are pre-recording this. But I mean, in the sense of just touching base, how was your week this week? Because it is Friday.
I suppose. Oh, yeah. I guess we recorded on Monday. A week did pass. I don't know. It's good. I went to Epcot today. I ate some Pride treats for a video that's coming out.
No, you ate some rainbow treats.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Disney doesn't support
rainbow
Pride.
Specially decorated treats.
Kurt, how was your week?
My week was great. I went to Avengers Campus yesterday, as of this recording yesterday, for the first time. And it was really, really great. I had a lot of fun. Popped over to Disneyland for a couple hours and finally had my first interaction with Mickey Mouse, like one-on-one, since Disneyland has reopened. Because, like, you know, they're like in the distance, they're kind of far off. But I feel like everybody who has kids at Disneyland thinks that their kids should always take priority because they're kids, which, like, I get it, but also, like, I also paid money to be here and I also want to see Mickey Mouse, dude. So yeah, for the first 2 days, the first 2 full times that I was at Disneyland, did not get like an actual interaction with Mickey Mouse until yesterday, and it was really, really nice to have that.
Yay, Mickey! Yeah. So fun.
Nicole, what about you?
You know, my week's been another off week. I've just been everywhere and nowhere, and I'm happy it's Friday. It hasn't been a bad week. It's just been a weird week. Now it's just starting the countdown till we leave. Which, when this airs, it'll be one day.
Less than 24 hours, baby.
Hell yeah. Woot woot. But that's, yeah.
That was the most unenthusiastic woot woot I've ever heard in my life.
Woot woot.
Woot woot.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, man. Alrighty, let's take a quick break and we will come back with this week's video.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, what?
So you like to travel to Disney and Universal, right?
Heck yeah, I do.
Well, hot diggity dog then. Kurt's going to tell you all about this super helpful website, theparkprodigy.com.
Yay.
How about that, Kurt? Tell us about it.
Tell us about theparkprodigy.com, Kurt, please. Radio in.
Yeah, guys, I'm super excited. Theparkprodigy.com is home to Universal and Disney travel experts who are committed to providing a stress-free vacation from start to finish. The best part is that it doesn't matter if you're planning on purchasing theme park tickets or an on-site vacation package. The Park Prodigy is rolling out the red carpet to make sure every family is as prepared as possible for their next Orlando or Anaheim theme park vacation.
But Kurt, have you actually heard of all of the benefits of using the Park Prodigy?
I think I have, but tell me more.
Some of the most popular added benefits of choosing the Park Prodigy includes their Magic Rewards program, which allows all guests who book through their small business to earn gift card points. And the best part is you can put those gift cards toward the final price of your tickets or package. So don't waste your time in the parks. The Park Prodigy will help you come up with the perfect itinerary for your days visiting all of the theme parks.
Sweet. But what other benefits can I get?
One of my favorites is actually their Magically Carbon-Free program, where the Park Prodigy will offset the carbon footprint from your carried or airplane travel from your home to your destination. And a favorite benefit for all the guests who purchase their Universal theme park tickets will receive early park admission to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter to help you ride Hagrid's magical motorbike adventure before the rest of the park does.
Oh, yay, but I love saving money.
Well, I can help you there, Nicole, because as an added benefit of supporting our show, the Park Prodigy is also giving an additional $10 off to anyone who is listening. Simply use promo code Foreverland 2021 when booking your next vacation to take advantage of all of those savings. Again, that's Foreverland 2021.
Okay, welcome back. Let's head into housekeeping this week. Mousekeeping, sorry. Oh my God, mousekeeping.
Mousekeeping.
Yes, let's go to mousekeeping and pretend like we didn't just almost forget to record this.
As we literally were halfway into recording our POV for the week, our video for the week, and Nicole just goes, wait, what about mousekeeping?
So we're here. It's mousekeeping, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you are new, this is Mousekeeping, where we talk about all things Disney, from the company to the parks. And once again, if you're not new, welcome back. We love you for listening to us be annoying for an hour. So for mousekeeping, let's go ahead and start with, I don't know, Nicole, you look so enthusiastic right now. Nicole.
Okay. All right. As of today, Disney Company announced that they are launching the Disney Imagination Campus to teach critical skills and encourage career exploration, starting January 2022. And it's to show that imagination is limitless. Is that the quote? Because I'm going to sound really fucking stupid. It's based upon the belief that imagination can create endless possibility. They have a bunch of different
very nice
curriculum educational pillars. So
very
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
That'll
exciting.
be fun. I hope that there's going to be more information on it so I can update.
Nicole is actually pretty good at remembering to update us too. So we'll hear about that
It's the ADHD
on a future
brain.
date.
Well, great.
Kurt.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Nope.
Can I tie
nope,
break? Kurt.
Nope. Kurt.
I don't have any like. I don't have any. What is happening? I don't have any like crazy news. I would, however, because Avengers Campus, I feel is so like saturated in the media. I do want to talk about it since I did go there, and I just want to talk about like how, just quickly, like how much different it is than Galaxy's Edge, because I feel like they're both like in the same vein, right? They're a land dedicated to a universe, like a fandom universe, and I truly feel that the Imagineers learned their mistake in like creating such a focused story for Galaxy's Edge, with the growth and like the future of Galaxy's Edge. Like when Galaxy's Edge came out, they wanted to have, you know, characters everywhere, and it was like this whole like bustling town. And I feel like the way that they designed that story made it impossible for Baby Yoda to show up, or the Mandalorian to be a character, or any future like characters that become huge on, say, like Disney Plus or any Marvel's or Star Wars spinoffs. I feel like it's kind of impossible for those characters to be a part of that land and somehow tie into like the two. And where I feel like Avengers Campus, they left it such an open concept that they can have Marvel characters appearing. You know, they had like literally the Loki show premiered Wednesday on Disney Plus, and I went on Thursday, and they already had him out in his like prison garb from the TV show, and they already had like in the collector's units by Guardians of the Galaxy, they had things from the TV show in there. Like it's so adaptable, which made it feel like really alive. And I don't know, there's just like a not weird, there's just like a really cool like atmosphere about it, which I think is like super cool.
Yeah. I was loving all of the stuff you were sending us, because you're right, with Galaxy's Edge, it's like you feel very closed into just Batuu, even though there's a whole Star Wars universe, but there's really not room for that to come into play with Galaxy's Edge, where Avengers Campus, you know, Black Widow can become a thing in a couple weeks when that movie comes out, or, you know, you can really change it over pretty quick. So nice.
Yeah, there's nothing like holding a certain land in place. Like Avengers Campus is its own made up land within the Marvel universe. It's really, really cool.
Very nice. Thanks, Kurt, for explaining that.
What about you, Niak?
All right. So actually pretty big news. We're all over the place in this episode. So this was announced actually today, which is June 22nd, which, hi, this is Nick from the future, kind of. So I actually jumped in to record this for this week's mousekeeping, because the mousekeeping that I originally recorded was way out of date. What I announced was confirmed a while ago, so it didn't seem relevant. But this news that we got today was worth popping in and redoing my mousekeeping for you guys, because it's super, super crazy. And I did not expect this to happen. So today, June 22nd, Disney has announced that there will be a brand new nighttime spectacular in Magic Kingdom for the 50th. So they haven't really released many details. It will be called Enchantment. We're not sure if it's replacing Happily Ever After, going to be an extra. We don't know, but it's all for the 50th celebration. So the new fireworks show, the new evening extravaganza will be called Disney Enchantment. So there was also a new Animal Kingdom daytime show so obviously Rivers of Light was nixed, and they are going to be bringing a daytime show for the 50th, which is called Disney Kite Tales, which that is going to be in the same place that Rivers of Light was at the Discovery River Amphitheater, but that will begin October 1st, and there will be wind catchers, kites, and all these beautiful, elaborate kind of kite flying things, and it's supposed to be a really, really awesome show. So super excited for these new shows coming for the 50th. Also a little scared because I love Happily Ever After, and we don't really know what that's going to bring. So yeah, that's my mousekeeping.
Alrighty, let's take a break, and we will come back this time with actually our video.
All right, everyone, now that we're stopped, let's take a minute to shout out to our socials.
Since you've made it this far, maybe subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you're listening on right now.
You can also follow us over on Instagram and TikTok at Foreverland Fairytales.
And most importantly, if you want more Disney content, or if you want to listen to our podcast on YouTube, make sure you find us there. We're at Foreverland Fairytales, and just remember to subscribe.
All right, let's get back to the episode. Okay, welcome back from our break. Let's head in. This is a fitting thing because we're going to be talking about our Mr. Toad's Wild Ride POV ride through. It is Nick's favorite dark ride at Disneyland.
It is a fucking wild ride. Oh my God,
wild
it's so
ride
good.
Is an understatement, man. Nicole, I can't wait for you to ride this ride.
Nicole, it's like a thing that we could tell you all day long what it's about. You can watch the POV, but like there is nothing like experiencing Mr. Toad's Wild Ride than being in his little fucking buggy car and driving around and ending up in hell. There is nothing like that.
And just fucking, it's so dark in there that you don't even know what's happening. You're just getting whipped around. Although it is not as dark as Pinocchio, which that's a whole other level. So anyways, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Let me give you a brief description about it because it is truly a wild ride. So opening day attraction. So that's, I guess, enough to tell you what kind of experience you would have with that ride at Disneyland. But opening day attraction, you get to go in. It is a beautiful, the outside is really nice. It's like the outside of Toad Manor, if you've ever seen the movie, which was, I believe it was the last double feature that Disney ever, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was the last double feature that Disney ever made.
Quoted.
It was a double feature with what the fuck is that movie? The Headless Horseman one?
I thought that was the Mr. Toad movie. Oh, Ichabod.
Ichabod. It's
yes. Yep.
Yeah. That's why it's called Ichabod and Mr. Toad. It's a double. I'm pretty sure it was the last double feature. Anyways, you get on a 1900s inspired I don't know what the fuck they're called. Like the carts.
It's like a
cars.
cart car. It's literally like a cart car.
It's strange. It's
post a picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Whichever Instagram
fucking knows.
you have at that point. Anyways, oh my God. All right. So you go on and you basically get infected with Toad Mania, his motor mania, and you blast through Toad
just
Manor.
Cocaine. It's just cocaine.
You blast through Toad Manor and you escape out the back. You go through some fields. You get hit by a train and then you go to hell. And then you're done. So... It's really good. It's a really great ride.
It's a good one.
Clearly, you can see why it's Nick's favorite dark ride at Disneyland. But yeah, that's essentially the ride. I apologize for the video. If you do go watch it, it is quite dark, but it is a very, very dark ride. They took dark ride to a literal sense. And they haven't updated the lighting since probably the 80s when it was last renovated. But I believe we have some fun facts. Yeah, Nicole, I'm just going to ignore that comment. I believe we have some fun facts. So, Nick, what is your fun fact about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride?
Well, if y'all didn't know, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was also an attraction in Walt Disney World in the Magic Kingdom Park, where the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is at currently. And I think that this is pretty darn sweet that, you know, Disney's Imagineers never disappoint with their little Easter eggs. So if you ride the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh today, you can actually find some references to the closed attraction. So there is a picture of Mr. Toad. I believe it is in Owl's house. There's a scene when you're going through Owl's house and it's like blowing all over the fucking place. There's a picture of Mr. Toad handing the deed to his house to Owl, which is so very, very heartwarming. That's cute.
So cute.
I know. This has nothing to fucking do with like where the attraction was at, but I thought it was hilarious that the Haunted Mansion has the Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World has a headstone for Mr. Toad, and it's got like when the ride opened and closed. So definitely,
that's so cool.
I know. It's definitely a missed ride in Magic Kingdom in Florida for me personally, but yeah, those are going to be my fun facts for Mr. Toad.
Nice. What a great fact of Walt Disney World. But you know what? Honestly, Winnie the Pooh is GOAT compared to that.
What if we did a hybrid though of Winnie the Pooh and Mr. Toad?
God. Stop. Could you fucking
Winnie
imagine?
the Pooh goes to hell. That
Winnie the Pooh goes to hell.
Literally
the acid trip.
Literally.
His number one sin is gluttony.
It is.
Oh my God. Oh man, that would be great. The devil, the devil instead of the judge is as a heffalump.
Yes.
Or is Christopher Robin?
Definitely Christopher
Just
Robin in a little
lace
devil
and
boy.
leather.
Oh my God, a little devil boy.
A red jumpsuit. Oh my God, where is this going? Okay, Nicole, what is your fact?
Sorry, I was just reading more facts. Okay, so my fact is also still in Disney World at Magic Kingdom, and it says the Magic Kingdom version of the Wild Ride featured 2 completely different tracks, making for different experiences, which is pretty interesting.
What if one you went to heaven and one you went to hell? What if that were the 2 tracks?
Could you imagine, like, only going to heaven on it? No. Wait, hear me out. Only going to heaven on it, right? And then you get put in the car that goes to hell the next time, and you think that you're like actually on a trip to fucking hell because it's like fiery.
That would be scary.
Or what if the 2 tracks you actually crashed into another car?
Yes.
And died.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes you into another dimension.
I'm here for it.
And then you just get off on Winnie the Pooh.
Is there any survivors from the Walt Disney World version of it that could confirm this story, or are you all dead? Are you all in hell right now? Right in.
With Christopher Robin as a devil boy. Oh, man. Actually, you know what? That's good. That's actually really interesting because the Disneyland version, they have, so it's only 1 track because Disneyland is the size of my palm. Mm-hmm. And they have this one scene. It's kind of close in the beginning where you're going around like a fountain, but there's a mirror and it looks like you're about to run into another car, which is yourself. But I would imagine that at Walt Disney World, that same scene, it's actually another car that's there on the opposite track. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that malfunction?
I mean, Universal Studios had that with fucking roller coasters going 60 miles per hour at each other.
True.
I think we can who knows though? It's a wild ride. You never know.
It is a wild ride.
But going from the Universal comment, could you fucking imagine if those 2 collided? That's where my brain's at.
Fair. Okay, Kurt, lay it on thick.
Okay, let's hop over to the park where it is still a living and breathing attraction until they close it. So, Disneyland is the only park that has Mr. Toad's Wild Ride left. It was originally also supposed to be at Disneyland Paris, but that got canned. But I want to talk about the hidden Mickeys that are on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, because there are two of them that I know of. There are speculated ones, but there are two that I have actually seen, so I will talk about it. One is, as you go through, the queue indoors is actually very small, but there is a statue when you're walking into the building on your left-hand side of Mr. Toad, and if you look in his left eye, you have to the sun has to be at a perfect angle. It has to be 70 degrees outside. It had to have rained yesterday, and you need to use your phone flashlight in order to see it. You have to have the most perfect lighting to see this hidden Mickey, because it is such an old statue, and apparently maybe they don't clean it enough. But on his, it's what is it called? Your iris, the colored part of your eye?
Yes.
Is it your iris? So on the edge of the iris where it meets the pupil.
Yeah, it's the iris.
Yes,
the iris.
The colored part of your eye.
I wanted to say cornea.
There is a hidden Mickey made out of the same color of his iris. It is very small and very hard to see. The second one is, as you get on the ride, you crash through his front doors, and then you turn around right away, and then you go kind of back into the loading area, and then you go back into the ride again.
Yes.
So once you go back into the ride that second time, you crash through these stained glass doors. So if you look at the right side, the door on the right hand side, on the bottom left of the painted glass window pane, there is a Mickey silhouette, as if Mickey is behind the stained glass.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, I love me hidden
small.
Mickeys. Oh, I love. So yeah.
I like that one because it's not just the three circles. It's an actual Mickey Mouse silhouette. It's really cool.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, those are my fun facts. So look out for those things next time you ride either Haunted Mansion, Winnie the Pooh, or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Or go watch our YouTube video.
Yeah, or go do that. Okay, so let's head right. Well, no, we're going to take a break. Let's take a break, and we will head right into our second edition of our cast member therapy session. Featuring cast member this week is John Jenkins. Super excited. We had a great time talking to him, and we are really excited for you guys to hear it. So let's take a break, and then we will play that interview. Alrighty, welcome back, and we are getting started with our second edition, second episode, whatever you want to call it, of our cast member therapy session, and we are so excited about this one.
Excited!
Oh man, we are happy to introduce you to our former cast member, John. Not ours, but Disney's. The former cast member, John.
They own me still. It's fine.
Believe that 100%.
They own my wallet.
So, John,
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, just in general.
Sure. So I, well, first off, I guess I can just say I am a typical Disney kid. Grew up in the 90s in the heyday of all the Disney Renaissance. Choreographed many of my own dances and things to Disney movies. That kind of thing. And I was just a big Disney kid. And then I was actually as a camp counselor in 2013. And after the summer, our group of counselors kind of went to Disney together. And I had not been since I was probably 11. And there's just something about being down there. I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. I think I could live this life. And people thought we were cast members on a day off anyway, and we definitely were not. So, because we were all early 20s, living that whole life. So, I was student teaching in the fall. So I guess that brings me to, I'm a teacher currently. I teach elementary music, and I'll actually be moving. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I would rather teach elementary than middle school any day, because those people really deserve all the kudos and all the blessings, in my opinion. But but I teach elementary music. And so I was student teaching and just kind of decided, I don't really want to teach right away. I kind of want to try some other things and almost take a gap year, if you want to call it. But I mean, after getting my degree, of course, that was my goal, get your degree and then live your life or whatever. And so I applied for the Disney College program, got accepted. And then in January, I was lifeguarding at the Yacht and Beach Club. So it was kind of a real whirlwind going from like country, rural Georgia to like Orlando, which is this big rainbow city. But as a young 20-something gay man, It was great. Loved it. Loved that vibe. It was great for helping me find myself, meeting people who were like-minded in my tribe. And so don't regret any of that, obviously. But I spent 2 years in the parks working all over attractions, Jungle Cruise, Lights, Motors, Action, Parade Control, sometimes the Braves spring training. It was just lots of random stuff. And then I guess probably the crown jewel of my Disney experience was working on Disney Cruise Line on the Disney Dream as a youth entertainment host, which I think people are more aware of the job now, maybe not so much when I first I didn't even know it existed. But yeah, so that's where my journey ended. That was in 2016 when I left. And so for the last 5 years, I've just been kind of hustling in Atlanta, where I'm from, and been teaching at my school for a couple years. And I'm actually going to a new school in the fall. So I'm excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I feel like you're a very well-rounded cast member.
I honestly, and that when I was thinking about like what to talk about today, I was like, oh God, there's so many random like tidbits from my history of my 2.5 years with Disney, almost 3, but but I feel like Disney Cruise Line probably was the one that people don't know as much about. So I feel like that was what I kind of wanted to focus more on today. So
yeah, cool. Our former cast member that we had on last month, they also did Parade Control. So I can assure you that Nicole is going to want to know if you ever punched anyone in the face.
Okay.
I want to know if you punted somebody, punched somebody, shoved someone out of the way.
I did not punch, but I did a very quick Disney scoop of a little girl. Not even kidding you. So, okay, like it was a whole thing. It was. Oh,
I'm ready. Give me all the details.
Up the shifts was forced scheduled into the electrical parade control, which I actually preferred because it was A, not in the sun, B, it was less crowded, and then people were usually nicer. Typically, I think people had either had time to get rest or go back to the hotel, whatever. Yeah, but. It was, I forget which float. I think it was the Peter Pan float. But anyway, this little girl I know the ropes, she was shorter than the rope. And she was like, oh, pretty, or, whatever. And she ran out in the road. It was right near Liberty Tree Tavern. And the mom, I saw her before the mom did. So I literally ran and scooped her up, and the mom had already come by that point. So I almost just threw her into the mom's arms. Like, here you go.
Take your child back.
They went back. Take your child back. Take your liability back. Yeah. But no, that was the only scary moment. I will say one of my favorite moments that I remember is I think it was the year Jurassic World came out, and there was a picture of parade control people holding people back, and next to the picture of Chris Pratt with the dinosaurs as it was like a super cut
with the
and
raptors.
I have never laughed so hard. I was on my break and I just died because I was like, yep, that's literally me on a daily basis.
No.
I'm putting tape on the floor. I'm holding people back. Yeah.
Oh God.
So I very much felt.
Wow.
So no punching babies,
man.
but I did pretty much, I guess, Disney scoop a child essentially.
Wow.
So
Wow. Well,
yep.
It's
okay. I'll take it.
Parade control people. Although, what is with kids too? Mike had a kid story, except his was a cancer kid, not a almost run over kid. So
no, I didn't have any of those.
Great.
Thank God.
Mike had to deal with a knockoff Gypsy Rose.
Which someone found them in a picture on TikTok. Did you see that?
Yes.
This girl, she was going through her Disney pictures, and this girl and Gypsy Rose and her mom were in the background of a picture that they were in. And
man,
my
I'm
heart
jealous of her.
palpitated. I palpitated. I was like, oh, that's triggering. Oh dear God. Wow.
That's so
scary.
great.
So
Great. Well,
scary.
thank you for indulging us, but let's go ahead and make this, about you and let's bring it
Sure.
back. So if
Of
you
course.
guys watched our last episode, our cast member therapy is all about letting cast members, former or current, come on and kind of like get shit off of their chest because they know Disney better than anyone else and probably have way more interactions than anyone ever will besides. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm saying. Cast members need to talk about shit.
Got it.
So
Registered.
let's
Correct.
let your session begin. Let's hear it.
Yeah, tell us your story.
Sure. What's the
I'm
story,
ready.
Morning Glory? Yeah, so I guess for me it was when I was in the parks, and it's just a very different world, literally a different world, but you do kind of get sucked into this bubble of like, because when you're a cast member, most people that work at Disney are either early 20s, teenagers, or
Sure.
like retired people. So there's really not a lot of in between. So it is great as a 20-something to be like, these are my people. We're having fun, like living my best life. I'm poor, but I don't care. I'm going to buy this pretzel, even though I can't afford it, whatever. But you do get kind of sucked into that Orlando, like, let's go to
Sure.
Universal, let's go to Disney, let's go to SeaWorld, let's go to Busch Gardens. And as much as I loved that and was having fun, after a while I was like, yeah, but this isn't really giving me any like career trajectory. I'm not really, because I'm a singer, actor, mover. And so I was more trying to get into the shows or parades or whatever. And didn't end up happening for me in the parks, but I actually got a role as a youth entertainment host. So basically, in a nutshell, most cruise lines like Carnival, they all have some sort of like kids area, right? So like whether it's, drop your kid off for 12 hours, 6 hours, and they got video games, they got snacks and, whatever. That's the basicness of most cruise lines, except Disney, of course, has gone like above and beyond and created these immersive, crazy, I know, right? Can you believe it? These crazy immersive spaces. So like, there's a space for like 3 to 12-year-olds. There's a space for like tweens,
Sure.
preteens. There's a space for the high schoolers. There's even a space for babies. You have to pay extra for it, but there's still, you can drop your 2-month-old off. It's crazy. So I was a youth entertainment host. Now there was also a counselor role, which was just being like a camp counselor all day long, 10 hours
Sure.
a day.
Sure.
Again,
Fuck
Oof.
that.
That is
Oof.
not, I had already done that for like 4 years of my life, and that is not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
My role was actually kind of perfect in that it was a great mix of my performer side and my like teacher, side. So the whole process of getting on Disney Cruise Line is, as you can imagine, the onboarding process is literally bananas. Like,
Sure.
it's months of paperwork. You have to get a physical and medical. You have to pass all that before you can even whatever. You have to pass a mental evaluation.
Yowza.
It's all these.
Wow.
It's literally like going on a reality. It's like going on Drag Race, or it's like going on Drag Race, or like going into the military. It's crazy. Yeah. So after like 4 months of that, and then you have to actually wait. So my job was very limited. Very few people did my job. So I had to wait at least 4 months before a job came open on a ship. And usually that only happens if someone decides to just like quit or gets transferred to another ship or goes to shoreside or whatever. So I did that and got on the ship. And then it's 2 weeks of HR and crazy like training. And
Yep.
they show you these like super scary like terrorist videos about what could happen. Yeah.
Oh my god. Is it like pirates?
Oh my God. I'm ready. Holy shit.
Literally this one video they showed a video of a guy trying to sneak onto a ship. That I wasn't surprised about. They had one though. It was this horrible, scary, like old school, like 1920s Mickey Mouse looking person.
No.
And he was like speaking in Arabic or whatever, and was like recruiting children into this like terrorist organization, like using Mickey, like being as Mickey Mouse. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not. I am not.
Okay, so
kidding you right
so
now. Like,
so
it actually
terrorist
happens.
Mickey is
Oh
going to
my
replace
God.
sewer rat Mickey in all of our future episodes.
Terrorist Mickey. I mean, literally look like the 1920s human-bodied, big head Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
And he's like speaking in Arabic, recruiting children to like join their terrorist kids. They're like, America's the devil. Oh my God. Like, I mean, in Arabic. It was, I mean, and again, I'm like happy-go-lucky, like, oh, this is going to be so fun. I'm going to be on a cruise ship. And they're like,
Whoa.
here's what could happen. We could have a terrorist attack.
Dressed as 1920s Mickey.
Some man dressed in leggings,
Right.
too big
And
shorts,
I guess
a
it's
black bodysuit.
literally, and like had weapons or like machine guns on the back wall.
Oh.
Machete
Yeah.
Mickey.
Machete,
No.
yeah.
Oh,
It was like-
man, that's good. Did they train
Yeah.
you if like pirates tried to like pirate your ship?
Yeah, basically. I mean,
Oh,
kind of.
that's
Well,
great.
anyway, it's
That is a
So
trip.
that's one thing that
Yes.
really sticks in my head specifically. That will never leave me.
Thank you for
that
that
will never leave
storyline.
me.
But I think it's like, but it's just funny because traditions in the parks is so different because it's like, oh, aren't we amazing? Look at the history of Disney. And oh, here's Mickey. He's going to give you your name tag. And oh, it's just this very like cheesy, culty kind of thing. On the cruise ship, it's like, yeah, well, here, you're going to be working 10 hours a day. And, there might be a terrorist attack. And,
Right.
here, you have to go learn this.
Here's what to look for.
You have to go learn this safety drill stuff that you don't really care about, but you kind of have to learn it because people are going to,
Right.
Coast Guard's going to, check you up on it. Anyway, so I think it was a kind of a shell shock of like going from parks life of like, I'm off my shift. Now I go to Magic Kingdom and I watch the fireworks. And I think it was that's the dichotomy of, oh, yes, I am working for a Disney quote unquote, but it is on a cruise ship vessel in the Caribbean waters. Like it's a whole different mental mental thing, especially for someone who had spent 2 years already in the parks, like working in that capacity.
Sure.
So I think that was the first time I was like, oh, this may not be what I thought it was. And that's okay. There we go. But once you get past the scary HR terrorist Mickey stuff, that's the first 2 weeks. And then, right, and adjusting.
Wow.
I want that on a t-shirt. Once you get past the scary terrorist Mickey stuff. It's smooth sailing from there.
But truly, then once you get into your actual job stuff, which I really did love. I mean, I had to learn 5 million scripts and do all this other kind of youth counselor training because it was interesting. I would say 90% of my job was being a youth entertainer. So like doing the shows, doing this, doing that. But then 10% of it was just like being a youth counselor in the spaces, whether that was just like giving someone a break or just sitting in the lab with kids or just, being an extra pair of eyes, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So that was enjoyable. And I actually got my best probably guest interactions during that time. And truly, I will say, as opposed to the parks, me being around kids most of the time and not really ever having to deal with the parents or the adults was just like chef's kiss. Because
Sure.
I've decided as a person in general, I don't do well with adults. I don't deal well with adult drama and adult entitlement. Kids I can deal with because they will learn or they should learn. And you can kind of curb that behavior if you're a good parent or a good teacher. But adult entitlement is there. It's probably not going to go away. And it's stupid. And they can get you fired. So, but anyway, so
I mean, in life, but I feel like it's more prevalent at Disney.
Yes. And I think, I hear you guys talk about too, about the whole guest is always right mentality and how, whatever. But for me, at least in the parks, that is definitely very prevalent. But luckily on the cruise ships, I found, and this is just my insight, but that people, when they know that their vacation is already booked, planned for them, meaning they have a place to sleep, they have food that is available, it's already been paid for. They don't have to worry about getting him this, getting her that, going here, going there. Everything is already there and set. So most of the stress of park vacations, like having to plan this, fast passes, food, this, that, buses, transportation, whatever, it's eradicated. And so I found a lot of the people were a lot more chill, a lot kinder, a lot nicer, a lot more friendly to talk to in general. And of course, alcohol helps too. But
Right.
so I think honestly, for me, when I was around the adult guests more, it felt like they were a lot calmer and more reasonable, I guess, than the park guests. And that's just my insight from a cast member's perspective, but which I loved. Again, there was nothing like you're closing all the clubs, all the kids' spaces closed at midnight. And you had to check your kids out by midnight regardless. Like you could leave them in there all day if you wanted to, but you had to get them out by midnight, like no, whatever. And there was nothing like just like a lush Becky from the Midwest or wherever, just like in her stilettos, waltzing up in the club, and sometimes wine glass in hand, like looking for her kid, like, Jimmy, baby, we gotta go. Okay, baby,
God.
Jimmy. And especially
I can see it now.
you can, and especially if it was like winter and the boat was rocking, like, and I mean,
Fucking suburban mom Becky's hitting the walls left and right.
I was trying my best to like keep it together and like, not throw up or like, keep my sensibility. And I'm like, how is this woman in her like 4-inch heels and her wine, like probably 4 or 5 drinks in? I don't know. White women have
perseverance and
stamina,
dedication.
Truly. Yeah, white women have stamina. I will give them that.
Oh man.
But
They need it.
they do. Anyway, so I was, it's kind of one of those, I guess, honeymoon. I call it like the Disney honeymoon periods. Like the first few months, like I love this job. It's fun. It's this and that. And then on a cruise ship, especially, you kind of start to get this sense of like, I guess melancholy or like identity crisis. Cause it's just so mundane, like every single day. So like I was on the Dream and we did 3 and 4 day cruises. So literally it was embark on a Friday, Saturday NASA, Sunday Castaway, back to Canaveral on Monday. And then it was the same thing over and over. At least like the Magic and other cruises get to like do some more sea days or do a different kind of cruise where they get to go over to Europe. The Dream was like always doing the same thing all the time. And so I think that just got, for me and my personality, it just got a little like mundane of, oh, we're doing this again? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I mean, the parks was that way too, but at least you knew, oh, when I clock out, I can go get pizza with my friend or go to a theme park or like go get on a boat.
Not be on a boat.
When you're done with work, even if you're done early at like 7, and honestly, that's the earliest I ever got off. Most of the time was like 6 or 7, just because of the way the schedules worked with my job. But then when you're done at 7, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go eat in the crew mess. And then I'm going to go and maybe go to the gym, but probably not because I'm exhausted. And then I'll go back to my cabin and just see what's on the on-demand videos and maybe get a bottle of wine. So it kind of this became this like, oh, like this is my life. Like I'm living and I'm working, but the other part of my life is just not my own in a lot of ways. And truly, and like you don't have a porthole. So when the lights go off, lights are off. It's completely dark. So that was tough too, like not having a lot of sunlight to like, help with the depression, especially in the winter. And then, I mean, there's a crew bar like you can go to and like get wasted until 3 a.m. or whatever. But again, that wears off after a while too, because you're like, oh, it's the same people getting drunk the same way, the same time every other day. Again. And we would have crew. I mean, they did do crew event. I will give them that. They did crew events to like keep morale up and like give us something different to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, we're doing this again. And then also, a lot of the times in the theme parks, you'll have CP friends that disappear after a year or 6 months or even exchange friends from other countries. But on the cruise ship, it's like every other day. It's like every embark. Oh, your friend from China you met, she might be going home and she may or may not come back, but oh well. Or you're, or people that you worked closely with, like my trainer on the ship literally trained me for 2 weeks and then she went on her vacation. So like, so then I'm like, oh, literally there's like no one to, I mean, other people knew my job and could help me, but it wasn't like my trainer, you know? I don't know.
Like
it was
you're
just
on
that
your
weird.
own.
Yeah. So it was just this constant like ebb and flow and back and forth but also monotonous. It was a weird whirlwind of just like everything. I will say, I think being in my early 20s, I was okay with it. If I would go back now, I couldn't do it anymore. Like, you know, I'm a different person, but also just, you have to be in a different mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for sure, if anyone thinks about working on a cruise ship, not just Disney, but in general, just know, especially as an American, just know, like, your life is not it. You do make that choice and you do get some freedom, but your free time is not necessarily your own all the time, because then sometimes they could schedule a random crew drill or a safety training just randomly out of the blue. So it really felt like you were always on your toes all the time. And that's exhausting. So, you know, if you're a performer and you want to do your thing, like, that's great. And I would say performing is one of the better jobs to have on a cruise ship. But just do your research, know what you're getting into regardless. But I would say if you're in your early 20s, go for it. Live your life.
I don't know why, like, the whole time you were explaining your day and like just the lifestyle, I could not stop thinking about prison.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. You
your
say that.
freedoms, and I was like,
But
am I
real
crazy
talk
right
though,
now?
because then when you disembark on your vacation, so like every job had a different so some people would have a month-long vacation, and it depended on how long your contract was. So like mine were about 6 months normally, or 4 to 6 months. So I usually got like 6 weeks of vacation. It just kind of depends. But sometimes you can extend to a longer vacation. Some people have 3-month vacations. It really is just so random. It's crazy. But you have to have this. Yeah, it's literally like a sign-off sheet. You have to give back all your costumes and give back all this stuff and get any keys and you have. It does feel like prison.
Shit.
It really is. It's like this crazy
No.
log out, this crazy checkout sheet.
Wow.
Yeah,
you survived.
I did.
And you are thriving. Wow.
Truly, like at the beginning of the pandemic, I was thinking about some of my cruise ship friends that were actually still on cruise ships at that time and were stuck. And I was like, oh my God, I would literally start peeling, like just scraping the walls, like going crazy, because it's already bad enough. It's like, it's hard enough when it's a normal cruising thing. And it's like, oh, I know today I can get off the ship, or I know like in 2 weeks, my contract's done. But when you literally cannot go anywhere because literally like you're quarantined on a cruise ship and you just can't leave at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is my
would be
nightmare.
rough.
That actually is my nightmare. So
I think I would snap and swim to the nearest land.
I mean, truly,
Go over,
like go with
yeah.
terrorist Mickey. Yeah, he'll take you gladly.
There you
He'll
go.
take you gladly.
It would end up swimming to like North Sentinel though, and they would just spear him right on contact.
Honestly, you know what? I wish that would happen.
Or you get run over by like a wave jumper or something.
Yeah.
Like off the shore of Canaveral, just like some asshole on a wave runner. It's like, boop, boop, boop.
It's me.
It's Nick and
it's you,
Prius.
and it's you.
Shut up.
And it's like, did you hear anything? No, okay, I guess not.
No, it's
No,
fine.
it's fine.
This is the bumper.
Yeah,
Cut in half.
truly.
Honestly, though, also, like, I could see myself easily slipping into a pretty bad depression in that kind of.
Yeah.
So, wow. The fact, you know, even just hearing you say, like, your support group with you there isn't consistent because people are gone. They're here. And it's like, that is so hard.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously
Turns out the
relationships.
depression wasn't seasonal.
Yeah, no. And then
Mhm.
and then relationships, like, forget about it. Like, truly, it's like
Right,
not even.
yeah, like a huge
Oh
part
my God.
of human interaction.
I
is
could
that.
not imagine having like just to be around the people that think it's like okay to date other cast members. I don't know, like the cruise ship people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just have that constant drama. I would probably just jump
It's a
off
lot
the
of
ship.
it was a lot of drama. And for me, like, it's funny, there weren't, you think like cruise ships fun, like gay, happy, but like most of the men on cruise ships are straight, actually.
Mhm.
Like most are straight. The
Oh,
performers,
yikes.
obviously, yeah, they're gay. But once you've worked your way through those, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna chill with my wine in the cabin.
Right.
It
Cool.
literally sounds like me growing up in rural
Solo.
Wisconsin.
Honestly, yeah, like
Once
truly.
once you know the other 5 people who are gay, that's really all you got.
I remember
That's it.
this
It's
is
over.
I forget. This was one of my favorite moments. I remember I was in my cabin and I was scrolling through the TV and I'm like, oh, they put Miss Congeniality on the TV. Oh my God. And like, I screamed. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, it's not the same. Because they kept the movies the same for a long time. I was like, yes, they added it. Thank you, God.
Oh, that would drive me nuts, is having to, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I'm a movie rewatcher. I take it back. Never mind. I would enjoy it.
Well, then it's like, okay, yeah, they have all the Disney movies, but literally they have the Disney movies playing in the kids clubs too. So it's like, I don't want to watch those. I want to watch something else when I'm all, like, not, whatever. Luckily, I had friends who like illegally downloaded things I could watch like on a computer or like whatever. But it was still
Mickey
like,
didn't get them.
yeah. Well, yeah. It was mostly one of my friends, like, that current season of Drag Race, he like downloaded somehow and like we watched it. I don't even remember, honestly, but
you always need a plug for pirated movies.
Yes.
I mean, Peter is Kurt's plug, so like,
I mean,
he's literally gonna marry one.
We got it. We got an email from AT&T, so we stopped that. after we downloaded the latest Jurassic World movie.
Oh yeah.
They were like, hey, we were contacted by Universal, and you can't do that anymore.
Oh
we're
no!
Like, oh my God!
Oh my God! That's scary. Oh my God! I would be like, okay, no, never mind.
I would have shit.
Big Brother's
pants.
watching.
Yeah.
Big Brother's watching.
Yeah.
Okay, no, never mind.
Thrown everything away.
Yikes.
No, for real. Jeez.
Well, great. Wow. That's a great therapy
yeah.
session.
I love that we could talk about like a cruise, like how you said in the beginning, people never remember the cast members out at sea. So that was really great for the community.
Yeah, you brought up a lot of great points. So I think it's a natural lead into how did you cope with all of this?
So I think you guys have mentioned this before. I mean, as the years have gone on since I've left Disney, I watch blogs and I watch different things and, whatever about the company. And I don't agree with a lot of the things that have happened and are going on, especially in the last couple of years, but it's the people that really, when I think about my time at Disney, it's the people that I met, the experiences that I had with them that are what stay with me, and not, what, it was the people really are what kept me grounded. And there are actually probably a handful of people I met on the cruise ship that I still talk to quite frequently. I've visited many of them in their countries or in their cities. And so, yeah, you bond because, yeah, everyone is there for a different reason. A lot of people on the cruise ships, they're sending money back home. Some people are there to just network, and some people actually really do want to become like a cruise director or like a ship officer or whatever, and that's cool for you. Like, if that's your life, that's your thing, do your judge. But my goal was have fun with it, meet some people, network, have it on my resume, and then whenever I felt I was ready, I'm a peace out.
Sure.
And that's what I did. I have no regrets about it. But yeah, but then I guess I can go ahead and like kind of talk about my like magical moment.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And true, like, yes, a lot of my early 20s were spent hustling like as a performer, and I got to do some cool things. But kids and teaching and education really still do have my heart. And so one of my favorite moments, because again, I was a performer most of the time with the kids. And so I never got a chance to be one-on-one with them in a non-like character kind of capacity. And so, there was a lot of downtime towards the end of the day, where there was maybe only a handful of kids left in the spaces. And, we had like board games. We could play like Chutes and Ladders or the Disney board games. They had stuff like that out for the kids to do. But my favorite thing was playing Uno. Like I just love just playing Uno with kids or even other cast members. That was something that really helped my mental health a little bit. But there was one little boy, his name was Zach. I remember it very specifically. And I remember I'd seen him around the parks a little bit too. There is a whole phenomenon of like park famous people, like children and like cast members. That's a whole nother podcast episode, honestly. But he was a kid I'd seen around, and in some people's pictures, I'm sure maybe his family were some people in Disney. Maybe they were up and up, higher up people with entertainment. I don't really know. And I'm sure Kirk can probably understand this a little bit, but I could tell he was family with me, in that regard.
Part of the community.
Sure.
Right. Part of the community.
Yes.
He was family.
Sure.
And with kids like that, obviously I'm not going to be like, hey kid, guess what? You're going to be gay one day. Get ready for that. Like, that's not my, that's not my job. My job, I feel like my job though is to like, if something's happening where maybe they're being teased or maybe they're feeling ostracized, like I step in and just lend a helping hand or a voice or, whatever. But this kid was actually super popular and like all the kids loved him. So, whatever. But he was in the space with me and we were just playing Uno and we just got to talking and he was one of those kids like where you realize you're looking at yourself as a child sometimes when you talk to certain kids. I'm like, whoa, this is scary. So he proceeded to tell me, oh yeah, I've created the entire Dream Along with Mickey show in my Minecraft, like whatever. I was like, what? I was like, so this kid literally had like created the Dream Along with Mickey show in his Minecraft, like anyway, because that was big at the time. But
sure.
But and then that proceeded to, oh, do you know the choreography? And then he literally gets up and just does the whole show. He performs it for me. Ooh. And then I was like trying to get other kids like, come here, look, he's doing a show. Like, come on, like distract yourselves. Here we go. I know, got him a little bit of an audience, but it was just one of those moments where I was like, you know what? This is what I do this for. This is the magic that Disney can do for kids. It's what it did for me as a kid, pretending to be Belle and the Beast and Lumiere and Ariel. Like for kids like him, artistic kids who maybe haven't found their outlet yet or haven't found their space yet. I always enjoy that. And I think that's the one thing that Disney does continue to do really well is embrace those kids. But yeah, that was probably like my one specific kind of magical moment that I just remember from that cruise ship time. So yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I love that.
He sounds like a sweet baby angel.
He was. I wonder what he's up to now. I hope he's living his most fabulous, best life.
He is. Someone with that kind of talent to just perform like that on a dime. He is absolutely in the stars now.
I hope so too. Yeah, for sure.
Yay. Love him. This was such an insightful, wonderful session. I thank you so much for this, John.
Totally.
Seriously.
So fun.
Well, I'm glad.
Laughed my ass off.
That's always my goal.
Cried with the sweet little baby angel. So this was so wonderful.
That was nice. And I feel like you have so many stories. So I think that we would all love to have another episode with you in the future.
I would love that as well. I should have.
We're going to have a John mini
series. Honestly, I'm cool with that. Totally cool with that. I really should have started a book over the pandemic. I really should have started writing like a Disney memoir of some sort.
Not too late.
Truly.
Not too
I
late.
know. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We already know the title, Terrorist Mickey. If you can survive Terrorist Mickey, you can survive 2020.
Smooth sailing for
right. That's the 2021, like the new Mickey short that will come out on Disney Plus. It's like Mickey and the Terrible Terrorist.
Come on, kids.
Mickey and the Terrible Terrorist. Yeah. He has to save Minnie from Al Qaeda or whatever. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
I'd watch it.
I would
totally
also.
watch it once.
You know what? I would download it and get an email from AT&T.
They did it with Nazis. They can be terrorists. It's fine. Whatever.
Exactly.
Might as well keep it the trend.
Wow.
Well, great. Thank you so much for coming on this episode and being our second cast member to come on.
Yeah, of course.
It was
all right, guys. That's
fun.
going to be all. Make sure you subscribe to us here wherever you're listening, whether it be Apple Podcast, Spotify, or on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram at Foreverland Fairytales. We're also on Etsy at Foreverland Shop. Ooh, haven't dropped that one in a while. And also on TikTok. And John, if you would like to, feel free to give out your social media handle.
Sure. I'm pretty much just on Instagram. It's LostJohnBoy91. So. If you want to check me out there, I post some funny things sometimes, lots of fun memes. So
yes,
everybody go follow John.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you all so much for listening. We will talk to you next week.
Stay magical, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.